plugged in here so that we have that running. And then I'm going to fire up that. And you are live and good to go.
Hey, welcome to Tales from the Barside, everybody. I'm Remy.
I'm Lauren.
And we've got a very special guest on tonight, Mr. Bob Waltonspiel. Welcome, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Good to be here. How you doing? Actually, it's for the purposes of this show, it's DJ Bob. That's how I was. That's how I was known.
DJ Bob. Everybody will know who we're talking about when we say DJ Bob. And our handy dandy producer back in the home bar studio somewhere in Clinton Township. Dave is here.
An undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location. Everybody have a little sip. You got a little beverage there, Bob? We like to drink.
Big bottle of water.
You got to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
So Bob used to DJ back at the Post Bar.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've got some amazing stories to tell about that.
So, yeah, I mean, for those, I guess this is 1996 we're talking. That's when I first started.
In a world.
Late 90s.
Yeah. Around 1995, I would have been, 22. It was the day before Thanksgiving. We heard about this bar. I knew about the Post, but I never went to that many Wings games. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like the one downtown wasn't really a thing other than the stories. But the one in Grosse Pointe, we attended day before Thanksgiving, and I've never been to another place like it in my life. So that became our Friday night thing for a good solid year. And I finally just went up to I got to be friends with one of the owners, and I just said, let me DJ a night. I got all the music and stuff. If you like me, keep me. If you don't, I'll keep coming back as a regular.
Yeah.
I did one night, and I was 11 years later. I finally ended up quitting. Literally went from 23 years old to almost 35 years old DJing various nights for all the different Post bars.
They liked you.
That's awesome.
I think so.
That's a good way to get yourself into a gig, though, is just kind of, hey, if you hate me, I won't come back. No problem. I'll keep drinking here, but I don't have to keep doing this work for you. That's fine.
They had one in Novi, didn't they?
They did. They had one in the one in Detroit across from the Josie Original. Grosse Pointe on Mack and Outer was the second one. Ferndale was the third one, which was a little bit more of a cleaned up version of what the Post was. And I'll kind of paint the picture in a minute. And then Mount Clemens opened, and then Auburn Hills opened, and then Novi opened, and then Clinton Township opened.
Wow.
It was the one on Hayes or Garf. No, it was Hayes, and 18 and a half.
Are they all shut down now?
They're long been history. Yeah.
Okay, I remember hanging out the one in Novi when I was freshly 21.
The only thing that's close is Madison's and Mount Clemens, which the original angel investors bought that and kind of kept it as it is. I think they built up on it a little bit, but that's the only thing that's even closely resembling anything that was a Post bar.
I think I'd been to the one in Auburn Hills a couple of times, and definitely the one downtown a couple of times. But
I would do all of them inevitably because, Bob, I would get the group text that said, okay, I'm DJing at this one tonight. This is where you will all be.
Yeah, very much. No, but the thing was, the magical part of the one, in Detroit, which I spent more time in after the Grosse Pointe one originally, was that it was a dive bar.
Yeah.
And
putting it mildly.
Yeah, it was an obscene, the one in Detroit, you wrote on actually Grosse Pointe you did too. You carved into the benches. There was basically no tables. It was church pews, and there was always a ledge that you danced on, where you would rest your drinks. That wasn't for resting your drinks. People would get propped up there. And so the whole wall was just people dancing. And there was church pews where everyone was standing on that. And literally the place was only busy from 9, was 9:45 till 2:45 Friday and Saturday night. That was it. 9,
right.
You get there at 8:30, nobody's there. You get there at 9:15, nobody's there. And all of a sudden it was the bat signal, and the thing about, and literally it would be butts to nuts by 10 o'clock. You couldn't move. There was always one fight, and then I would always play War, Why Can't We Be Friends? I'll never forget. No, I'll never forget. My second week DJing, a fight broke out, and instead of turning the lights on, I played the Rocky music. And
nice.
I'll never forget Dave Millar, who was one of the best bartenders I've ever met in my life, like grabs me and he goes, if you ever want to work here another day in your life, you'll never do that again.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I guess that was bad. So what it turned into is like when people would get kicked out for the fight, basically it was me, I'd shut all the music off. I'd look frantically for war. Why can't we be friends? Then I would grab the mic and I'm like, hey, and like everyone would look at me and I go, didn't you read the sign when you walked in here? There's no fucking fighting at the post bar. And then I would play, why can't we be? And everybody started laughing. And there was never another fight. It was this weird thing that was like every single night. Like,
oh, that's great.
When's the last time you've seen a fight at a bar? Like it's been 15 years for me.
It's been a while since I have, but a funny story is at the place that I was employed at second to last before the whole shutdown, downtown, the Punch Bowl Social had a massive brawl a couple weeks, like a month after I was gone from that place. And yeah, pepper spray was used, and some of my old coworkers got pepper sprayed, and yeah, the cooks came out of the kitchen, and yeah, it was customers versus employees. Bad stuff. See, I don't mind giving them bad press for when they open back up.
No, that's fair. It's shady. But the funny thing, the thing about this all was there was you knew you were there by the music that was on. It was so bizarre that a bar would have their own brand or their own mix. See, like I didn't invent the mix, right? The mix was already being done in Detroit. I kind of added more like 90s music to it.
Okay.
I'll kind of go through the rundown of the music, but that was like people would, and then I brought something in from Chicago. We used to go to, oh my God, Excalibur's during St. Patrick's Day weekend in Chicago.
Oh God.
And the guys used to do the midnight social. And so I go, it'd be great. Let's do the social, because the post bar, if you remember at midnight, you'd play That's Amore, and they would hand out like a dozen pizzas from Marge's across the street.
Right.
That's awesome. So you grab a slice of pizza and you hand it to your neighbor, and it was a bonding thing. It was great. But I'm like, hey, let's do a social before we do the pizza. So I'm like, I just mocked what they did in Chicago, and I'm like, all right, everybody, it's time for a social. So I take your drinks, hold them up high in the air on the count of 3. Out here, big social. Crowd would toast their beers, and they'd pass out the pizzas, and then you'd play Sweet Caroline.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, if you didn't play Sweet Caroline and Cecilia, I tried it once. And if Cecilia didn't follow Sweet Caroline, I had 6 people running up to the DJ booth going, bro, Cecilia. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, it almost was like they knew the playlist. Like, it had to become, it was almost an auto-generated playlist.
It's scary how people like that.
And you have to keep in mind, this is why it being an auto-generated playlist is good, because here's my memory of DJ Bob at every post bar. There's Bob behind the DJ booth standing, and by the time the social is happening, probably wobbling a little bit. And there is just a wall of empty Rolling Rock bottles fencing him in.
Those days back then I would only do one shot. If I would do one shot when I got there, and the bartenders, and we would do, and they did the JT special. I don't know if you ever had one of those. It was raspberry or razzmatazz schnapps, or I'm sorry, raspberry vodka, peach schnapps, and a little bit of cranberry. And
doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, so like when I got married, they opened up Post Bar downtown for me, and I got to make them. And like it's the only place where like mixing and pouring one hand 2 plastic cups was acceptable. So like I could literally like do the mixer in 2 plastic cups and then one hand it, So we would do either one of those or a shot of Jaeger, but like literally they would go through more Rolling Rock. And I don't know where I got I've never drank it since. It was always like when I go to the Post, I drink Rolling Rock.
That's where you're at.
That's it. Yeah, I never drank it at Rogers Roost or Duffy's, or what I mean?
Literally, I've never seen him drink a Rolling Rock outside of the Post Bar, ever.
I haven't.
Yeah, but there, it was like you're building a little green glass house.
Right. But it's funny, I just put together a playlist, and I was going through it and just going, like, I'm almost like cringing. But yet I was like, but I was smiling from ear to ear. Like, the songs that would like Get What You Give, the New Radicals, How Bizarre by OMC, Will Smith Miami had to be played, Kid Rock Wasting Time, like then you'd play like Let's Go Crazy,
Everything
Staying
that
Alive.
he jumps across a table at me if I play now.
Well, no, most of those that would be like, some of them, yeah. But like, what was I thinking? Like, Cake, I Will Survive. Like that was so.
Oh yeah, the Gloria Gaynor remake.
Yeah,
That's a good
James Lade. I mean, that was like, if it wasn't for Sweet Caroline being like that bar song, it would be James Lade, like hands down. And like Wasting Time, Kid Rock. Those are like you knew you were there, and like I cranked it so loud. Like I had no idea what redlining an amp was. Like I didn't.
Right. Yeah. We're going for it.
The guys in Auburn Hills always laugh. It was the best bartenders in my life were always still to this day from that bar. But Auburn Hills, it was Al, Pokey, and Bruce, and they were the best bartenders hands down because they would like have these intermittent conversations with 30 different groups of people and pick up where they left off every single time they went around the bar. One of those types. And Al always does the perfect stories. Like every time, like the music would just cut at like 12:30, and then everyone would look up at you, and you'd look over at the bar and you go, "Sorry," and then you'd crank the amp because I would always walk up to the amp and crank it up. It was always in the middle, and I would always put it to like 7, right? Because I knew it shouldn't have been pushed that far, and it was always like triple red line. So like people would see me like wherever Hamtramck or wherever I was, I go, I didn't see you last night at the bar, but my ears are ringing, so you had to have been DJ.
You established a reputation for yourself.
It was, but like, the thing that was, it'll never be recreated again. Like I'm dead convinced. Even like if you ever went to the Post downtown after like a hockey game or whenever, and it was a hallway. Like literally, it was like when I used to DJ there, it was like I have to pee. And we had mini discs. That's how we mixed back then, right? And I couldn't go to the bathroom because it would be 20 minutes. Like I can only play Pussy Control once, and that's like a 7-minute track.
Yeah,
like, I was like, it's packed.
It's a great song, by the way.
Yeah, I had "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" by Michael Jackson and Prince. There was like 2 7-minute songs that like. Right. So I would have to run out the alley, go in behind the bar, pee in a garbage dump, and then run back in. But like
the show must go on,
The show must go on, but like that place, please don't judge me for like the name dropping I'm about to do. But like the hockey games, this was like the craziest thing. Like I was standing at the bar going to get a couple Rolling Rocks, and then like here's Steve Levy from ESPN. If you're a sports guy, like he's like the guy from like Hockey Night Canada and ESPN, all that stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? I go, I'm DJing. You want to hang up there? There's more room. So here's Steve Levy. Then like here's like 3 of the Wings rookies, and here's like Joe Kosher and Al Sabatka. This is the one I'll never forget because I always think it's hilarious. Because I'm like, hey Joey, whatever you need, I got you, right? Kosher. And he goes like, yeah, Bobby, give me a couple Bud Lights. I'm like, cool. So I go to the bar, get a couple Bud Lights. He looks at me, he goes, what are you fucking stupid? And I go, what? And he goes, cases, you numbnuts. What am I supposed to do with 2 bottles? So I go in the back in the cooler, and the bar back's back there, and he goes, DJ Bob, what are you doing? He goes, I go, bro, Kosher needs me to take 2 cases of beer up there. He goes, he goes, just go, dude. So like that was the whole thing. Like all the place sold was bottles of beer and JT special shots. Like if you asked, this is another thing that'll never be recreated again. If you ever asked for like, oh, can I get I always joke with you guys, like, can I get a mojito?
Right.
Like, the bartenders had like like, go fuck yourself. Like, you want a whiskey in a cup, or you want a bottle of beer? And we have like 6 bottles of beer.
Yep.
And that's what you
shots
get.
of Jaeger, shots. Yeah.
That's what you get. And you could be a dick, like, and it was fun. Like it wasn't like cute, like the Chicago. What is the 50 bar? Yeah. It wasn't like that where it was like, oh, it's cute. It was like, no. Frank's really telling you to go
to GTFO.
Right. And it's like, that's cool. I respect you. Like,
I feel like there was an entire era there of bartending that you were allowed to be a total asshole to the customers.
Well, it was 3 deep at the bar.
Yeah.
an angry mob. It's like PC, right? There's an angry mob of men with no necks thirsty for beer.
Who
And
just
it's
get
like,
out of a hockey game. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna take the time to crush up some mint for you. And
No, that was a pretty long ass bar.
No, I think it's maybe it was 12 seats.
Oh.
Downtown?
Maybe. Yes. Yeah, yeah.
I might be having alcohol distortion.
Right.
Yeah.
The tunnel vision of
of those nights. Yeah, that's entirely possible.
if you go in there when it's empty, it looks like there's a lot more room. But
Right.
as soon as there's a row of people down that aisle, like it's packed. Yeah.
Well, and that was like the music I got. I'll never like. I went to a Wings game and a girl I was dating at the time, and we went there, and that's when I started learning about like David Bowie, Young Americans, and like Knock 3 Times on the Ceiling, like Rock Lobster, and like these songs that like, what are you playing? And then I'm looking up there going like, it's kind of like Oktoberfest in Germany when they start playing like Bruce Channel, Hey Baby. And the first time you hear it, you're like, why are they playing the Dirty Dancing shit ass Hey Baby? And like by the third time, you're dancing on the table singing it. That's
right.
like,
You're like, oh, I get it now.
Right. Like, knock 3 times on the ceiling. Whoa. And you're like, the first time you're like, what in the blue hell? Right. And then by like the third time you hear it, it's like become like, but that was that bar. Like, again, you play that at Tonic, everybody looks at you like you're a dupa. You know what I mean?
So that's kind of the whole point of a great DJ is to be able to read the crowd, play what the crowd wants. If everybody's going to start throwing things, if you don't play Sweet Caroline, I guess you got to play it. Most of the bartenders that I know who have been doing it for as long as me and Lauren, 10, 20 years, I don't want to hear Sweet Caroline or Don't Stop Believing like anytime in the near future. I've heard those songs enough.
The old school post, though, there was a line. Once you got to Mount Clemens, it was different because there too many people and the crowd overtook it. But like,
right,
the girls that would come in that didn't get the scene, that would be like, play some booty music.
Right. Oh yeah.
That wasn't happening. You're like, no, there's no like, I'm not playing. Like the most hardcore rap song I played was Miami, Will Smith. Like it wasn't.
We're not going above that
playing.
Line.
But here's the thing. On the ride there, it was DJ Assault the whole ride. Right? Like, let me see your checks to get your own. And so like the whole ride there, that's all it was. But then when you got in the post, it was like, nope, hat to turn around, over the top. This is what the scene is.
See, I feel like the one in Novi, they did play a lot of like
totally did.
DJ Assault and stuff because that's the one I hung out at. And
yeah, you had to. Like I opened Novi, and by that point there was like capacity was I think 950, and you had,
that's where we moved our pink slip parties to.
You kept saying that like it was a dive bar, and I was like, the one that I went to was most definitely not.
Oh no, the one in Nova, no, the one downtown, absolutely not.
But the original
not
one,
yeah, the original two. Ferndale like started to be clean. Like you can see it at Imperial now in Ferndale. Like they didn't really change much. Like they really didn't, except it was like brick wall and clean. You couldn't write on the walls.
Right.
But like by the time I got to Nova, that was like a massive production. Huge.
It was like a nightclub.
It was totally a nightclub.
There was like two separate like clubs connected to each other.
Yeah, you had the front bar and then you had the outdoor patio bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but that one was like an actual. But here's the thing, like it was almost like a joke with me and the bartenders. Like I would once in a while I would play an old school post song, and like you'd get the crowd that would stay, but then half the crowd would ditch and go to the bar. So like that was the kind of my like little wink with them because they're all old school post too, so they got it. But it was like everyone needs a refresh. They don't keep them on the dance floor all night. Let them let them go get a drink.
They got a drink too.
Yeah, so it like literally became a game, and like that was like it was so hard to get a drink there. I used to take the go in the kitchen and grab like the prep bins, and you could fit 8 Rolling Rocks in a pitcher of ice perfectly in it.
Like just load yourself up and be fine for.
Yeah, well, that one was like the nice leather couch. Like I was always 2 feet ahead. Overlooking everybody. It was like the clean. But then as much as I liked that many people out there in a packed dance floor and it was nuts, man, I'd take Grosse Pointe Post 99 times out of 100 because of that.
The camaraderie.
It was a thing. Yeah, like I just put out since this quarantine thing we've all been bored, I put a playlist together of every song I played at the Post Bar.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Like just
you sent it to me. I haven't had time to listen to it yet, but I've got headphones on most of the day, so I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, I wanted you to get in the minds, wanted you to, but like so many people that were part of that scene back then that, sent me a note on Facebook, are like, oh my God, man, like, thank you. Like, this brought me back to a time like that made no sense, but it was like the best time of like, of our lives that'll never be recreated. You know what I mean? That's like the whole, like you could recreate Post Novi tomorrow. That's nothing.
Right.
Oh,
Sure.
For sure.
Go play pop music and sling drinks. But
What's
like,
even in there these days? Do you know?
I think it's vacant, dude.
No. Where the old Post Bar was in Novi?
Yeah.
No, it's like called like Michigan Brewery or something like that. It's like
Oh.
a brewery there now.
No, because like they had the Irish pub in the front, and like they always did, like we always went to that Lizard place for breakfast or whatever the hell that was called across the street.
I used to like hang out over at Bora Bora, the hookah place across the street, and then I would come over and then go back over there and stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was and that's the thing. Like then I don't know if it like lost its way or whatever. It got a little, you want to expand and you want to grow. Like it's not like it's a Hamlin pub. Hamlin pub is like the corner Irish bar that'll never go out of style. The problem is like my whole take was once they started to be trendy, it was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
When it was like you could still, if it was, see, that's the thing. I don't know if you could get away with playing that shit. Like, unless you call it like 80s and 70s night,
you'd have to bill it like as a retro flashback night or something like that almost.
I literally work at an 80s and 70s nightclub. Like, actually do.
You should guest DJ when we open back.
Yeah, you should.
Get all your old Post friends.
All
together.
70s, 80s, and 90s music.
Look at him. He's starting to drool.
He's thinking.
Look at him.
I played no 90s, so that's all.
You don't have to. You don't have to do 90s. It just encompasses all of that.
See, like,
not really
I did have the name Disco Bob for a while because I do that. I have like one dance move, and like I loved disco music. Like
we have like a light up dance floor and everything.
Yeah, I'm in. I don't do I'm not like. See, here's the thing. Like people like classify DJs. Let me put something very clear. There's like the DJ that like produces his own stuff, like a Brian Gillespie or like that like
right.
You get in a DEMF or movement or whatever it's called, and like he makes his own stuff, and he and then there's a guy like DJ Godfather that like mixes, and he's really good at mixing, and he beat mixes and he throws stuff back and forth, and then there's like 4 rungs down from that, there's a guy like me that Happy Birthday Jenny, shots of Jägermeister for $1, Sweet Caroline, raspy voice, like mixes nothing, but just plays.
Right.
But I just played, just play to the party, and I was part of the party. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't trying to be anything other than just part. You know what I mean? Like come up to the DJ booth and dance up here. I don't care. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Be part of the party. Like
just having a good time.
Yeah. Like so when I hear clubs like that, like, oh, you should come, I'm like, because some of those that need that like fancy little beat mix thing, and that's like just that never was me. Like I'll medley mix all day. Like I could do I did a medley mix at work. Like we have like this dance party at 3:00. But like, yeah. So like anyway, we could talk about it. But yeah, that was those were good times.
I used to do the same thing. A very similar kind of DJing. I'd host a trivia game, and the timer was songs. So I'd have to make a playlist, about 21 songs, for just a couple hour show and stuff like that. But I'm like, I was at the Fifth Avenue in Royal Oak where they have, the like pop hits nightclub DJ kind of thing, just spinning all of today's hits. And I'm like, I'm in there playing Queens of the Stone Age and Slayer and mixing it with Prince and Michael Jackson and like just throwing them for like curveballs all the time. And everybody's like, oh, I really love the music that you play. Well, most of the people in America.
Yeah. See, like I definitely don't want to call this an art form, but the game I used to always play was from 9 to 10, it was pretty much play for me. Like there was no one was going to dance. And if it was going to be like 2 girls that were like bar hopping, and they're going to be gone anyway. So I'm not going to like pull out my midnight song for you at 9:30. So we would get in a lot of, because I only had so many like the songs. You know what I mean? Like 1 a.m, that was the song. Like if I played it at 9:30, I was going to be a dead man because I'd have 40 people screaming at me at 1. Whereas the song. So it was kind of like the play. Don't run people out, but like wait until it's full enough where you could pull out that one like knee shooter. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that one.
right.
And it was always like James Brown, get up off of that thing.
Right,
You
and
know,
everybody's getting down.
yeah, and then it was like, all right, now the shit's going. You know, then you play some Cool in the Gang, Get Down on, and then all of a sudden now it's on. You know, now I can play whatever. But it was like that one song just to like, all right, time to go. And you weren't like ruining the night by playing like whatever. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't playing wasting time at 9:30. So like that fight, no, that fight was real. Like so like I remember. I'm not gonna get on the line too much, but like I DJ'd at the Blackfin and Royal Oak. They called me one time and said, "We want to hire DJ Bob circa 2001. Can you still be that guy?" I'm like, "Man, I'm 35. Like, no, I can't be that guy."
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. And I would play like my 80s mix from 9 to 10, and I would get hollered at like, "I came here to shake my ass, and this is awful."
Right? Why are you playing this old stuff?
Play the
Blackfin.
booty music.
Can you like play something good?
Right. Then I'd get like that one older guy, like my age guy, going, "Dude, sweet mix." And I was like,
killer, man. Yeah.
You got a lot
Give
of like
that man a drink.
bachelorette parties and stuff too. I'm sure they were annoying.
Oh no, because they're like, we just got here. Stop what you're doing, and do what I want.
Right.
And okay, so yeah, this is. Let me run through the T-shirt that I was gonna make. This is. Can I request this song? Sure. You have this song? Oh no, I don't. I'm sorry. You don't have it? No. You don't have it? No. Seriously?
Seriously?
No. Right, that was one. That happened 3-4 times a night. Then there was, can you play this song? And I go, yeah, sure, of course. Next. Like, no.
Like, oh, do you want to come up here and do this for me? Like,
I go, I got
Are you tipping me to do that?
No, it wasn't. I never. If I made $20 in my whole in 10 years, that was the. But then it was like, oh, the only time I ever got a $20 bill was, dude, if you play James Lane, I'm totally getting some tonight. And I'm like, bro, does she have any like? If that's what's gonna work it, like I got the DJ to play a song. She so stupid. But like, play it next, and I'm like, no. I go, I got like 10 requests. She goes, yeah, but I'm hotter. I'm like, yeah, no, you're kind of not. Like, that's not as good selling point.
Of course.
And then there was the, I have it in my car, and I'm like, which means you listen to it on the way here, and you're gonna listen to it on the way home.
Right. Yeah. Why do you need to hear it in the club?
No, I don't have an aux cord.
Everybody to know that this is my song, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, then it was, can you, we're leaving. Can you play this song like now? I'm like, wait, you're if you don't play this, we're leaving. That was like kind of a variation on the same thing.
Bye.
Yeah, you see those? You see those like those 30 people outside will be cheering when you leave, so they can get in.
Right.
Exactly.
I never understood it. Like, I have 3 daughters, and I'm raising two of them are teenagers, and I'm like, you know how to get a DJ to play your song? Like, it's really easy. Like, me and my friends are having the most amazing night, and you are so awesome. And you know what would make it even better if you played the song? You will get that song played 9 times out of 10 next.
Sure.
Like,
gas them up first, like, dude, you're the best. This night is perfect. There's just one little song that we would love to hear. And pick something that's like he's obviously going to have,
Right.
And it's Bob, bringing him a shot and flirting probably doesn't hurt either.
Well, like, how many times you're like, oh my God, this song's awful. You play something good.
Yeah. You're like, no, I'm not going to play anything you want now.
This is good.
Right.
Your taste sucks.
Right. Like, the dance floor is packed. Like, what's you? Like, it never made sense to me. Like, the vitriol or like the people like,
dude, I mean, a good example of that. I mean, like, so this weekend, it was supposed to be PenguinCon. And our 80s room parties became legendary. Partially because of all the alcohol we gave away for free, but also because of the set you would put together. And dude, like, I don't think people understand, like, at a conference that would have 1,600 people attending it at the Southfield Westin, we burned through like 1,000 wristbands in a night.
1,100 was
people coming like, because we had the big giant suite, and it was the hottest, sweatiest. Like, we had box fans in every corner by every window, and Bob would just like kill it all night. Like, I still think my favorite is we were on the 5th floor, if I recall correctly, and somebody came down from 11 and said their floor was shaking, and could we please turn it down?
I
People are trying
decided
to sleep here.
I decided to be a good idea to bring subwoofers to a hotel room. But no, it was like those, like, are there even like the DJ and the bar? Like, maybe I just don't go to those. Like, those places don't exist. Do they exist anymore, other than like the big high-dollar nightclubs? Like, I'm trying to think of the places around town.
Places that have like a DJ in them, just in general.
But like, yeah, the packed dance floor. Like, I don't like Royal Oak doesn't have any more places, do they? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but
has Bar Louie turned into that since they took over Blackfin?
I haven't been there.
I mean,
yeah, I haven't checked it out since they opened up and stuff. But Fifth Avenue has the two floors with a dance floor on each one, and I guess on the weekends they still get people.
Oh, true.
It's not like they're playing throwback music; they're playing today's hits kind of stuff. That's what everybody wants to hear when they're going out dancing to stuff like that. Because it's people who are newly 21 or people who are in their early 20s and stuff, and that's just what's popular. Somebody's going for a pee break or a beer break.
No, and that was the one thing that was like to get your name written on the wall. It was like a badge, like that it would stay, because they never. I think they painted in the 11 years I was at the Post. They maybe painted Grosse Pointe once or twice that whole time. So like there's when we got married and went downtown, like somebody wrote on the, like, that's one of our favorite pictures, is somebody wrote like our names and like the day we got married, like on the on the bar,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, just like the fact that like if you could get like Bob, like just to stay anywhere, like cool. That was the thing. I worked at Budweiser, so we got them fat paint markers. So like we would walk in there like with a red one. Like I remember having a polo shirt, Oxford white one, that had like 3 red specks on it because I had the marker, and you pop it out. And I didn't want to throw it away. So, yeah, it's a damn $80 shirt. I'll have that red speck on it until the day I die. But like you would like write your name somewhere, and just like that was like that doesn't exist either. No one's doing that shit.
Hey, Bob, you remember Pat Mendes, Pat the Weirdo from back in the day?
Yeah, of course.
He said Augie still does that.
You can write on the Augies?
No, with the DJ dance floor, yada yada. That's still their core apparently.
Oh, okay. See, I've only been there when there's the
bands.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I just don't go to like at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I'm ending up at my corner bar because I was out at happy hour. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's DJ by jukebox, like priority play. Piss off the guys playing pool.
Damn it!
Right.
Bernie's got to go get a beer. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'll be back for the second half.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But like even like the dancing on the ledge, like Lauren, have you ever been? They did it at Novi, right? They had the built-in.
Oh
ledge.
yeah.
Yep.
I was invited up there every time I went.
Now, did you ever do the Socialist Sweet Caroline? Like, were you over there when I was there? Like, because it didn't last that many years after I left.
When did you stop?
I did Novi for maybe 3 or 4 years when it opened, to like maybe 4 years after.
I don't know.
Almost every Saturday night.
I went there a lot.
And the funny thing is, one of the storage engineers at work, his name's Pyam. He we found out through the grapevine that he was one of the bar backs there when he was like 22. When I was like in my 30s DJing Novi, you know what I mean? He's like, "Oh my God, DJ Bob!" And like, it's funny how like you remember who they were, but you don't remember like who they were. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that happens a lot.
That's what because they did open up another post bar in Plymouth, and I think Newman DJs
Dearborn, isn't it?
No. The one in Plymouth is like the actual post from the people.
Oh, okay, because there's one that still says post bar in Dearborn, I believe.
That one they like licensed the name.
It was a franchise.
Yeah. That was the funny thing was the elephant was like their mascot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No one knew why. Well, I guess like in 1980 where it was, which one's the elephant, the Republicans or Democrats?
Elephants, the Republicans, I believe.
Republicans, all right.
I think.
Well, yeah, they had the Republican, I guess, convention at Cobo, and the post bar basically put elephant prints leading up to the post, and like then the elephant became the mascot.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because they were just having a sale on all like the old swag to like support the staff that got furloughed. And I was so wanting to go and grab some old stuff.
I'm so mad I didn't know about that. I totally would have bid on shit.
They had hockey jerseys. They had a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, now who's
You
drooling?
said the magic words.
Yeah.
They had a hockey
You
jersey.
don't tell me these things.
I think the only thing I have left, I have like they used to sponsor our softball team, so I had like a really like a navy blue, a really like their swag was great. Like their shirts, like people actually wanted their bar shirts. Like that was actually a thing. Like the golf
I
shirts.
remember. I remember.
I'm just saying.
Well, are they all sold out? Is the sale over? Can you still get some of these things?
I don't know if you follow them on Facebook.
I tell you what, we'll look it up and we'll put a link to it up on our show page if it's
I'll
still
tell
going.
you what.
Gotta get that. Dave's gonna do it right now.
It's the original owner, Jen Wheeler, and her husband, Jim Dales, and then JT's still managing, and I think I want to say Steve is still one of the bartenders, one of the original bartenders. But like, if you look at like a lot of the guys that like the original, like Frank is still at my dad's place. I wanted to say that he's still bartending there. Like all the original guys from Mount Clements. I think Pokey's still bartending. Like it's funny how like Millar's still he's up north. He went up to Traverse City to bartend. But it's funny how like these people like in their mid-20s are like it's still like the career. It's still like that's like it became their identity. It became like everything about it.
Sure.
They're still doing it, successfully.
Well, Rippy and I have talked about that quite a few times about people that just make bartending a career, and not everyone is able to do that, but some of us actually make a good living off of it.
Well, it's an aging thing because it's like we used to like the post bar butt was a thing. Like we'd get the 22-year-old girls would bartend there, and then all they would live on is fries and beer for 3 years. It became a thing.
Guilty.
Right, but like everyone was like, it took a toll on you. Like if we were up till like we were up till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
We'd start drinking at 2:15, like Auburn Hills especially. And then it was a free for all. Then you'd get up the next day, do it all over again.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
You want to get aged real quick? Do that.
To me, the only thing about doing it as a career is like if you find the right place, you can stick with it for a really long time. It sounds like the Post was definitely that family kind of thing where like, yeah, you get into the groove and you have your regulars and you're making good money and they open up new places and stuff. You can stay there for years and years and years and be fine.
The bartenders were the rock stars.
Exactly.
Like when you went to Detroit Post after a hockey game and you didn't see JT and Burley and like Bobby Sutton and all that, you were pissed. Like,
right.
Where the hell's JT? Where's Burley?
Where they at?
Right. You go to Grosse Pointe. Where's Frank and Millar? Like, where they at? You know what I mean? Like, that was it was a thing. Like that was the show. Like it was, thankfully they never did like the cocktail thing.
Right.
They were, but they were like, it was
their bartending.
Yeah. I mean, the closest I've seen to like that show was like what Mikey and August did at Whiskey in a Jar. And I was like, this reminds me of being at the old Post bar when it was just butts to nuts, couldn't get a drink. And like these guys just like composure. Cause like they used to, the joke was like downtown, especially like they would let me bartend for an hour if they got to DJ for an hour. So from 9 to 10 when it didn't matter. And like from 9 to 10, I would come off, I would be exhausted. Like, and just like a quarter crowd. It wasn't even packed. I'm like, man, bro, I don't know how you guys do it. Like, I really don't know. Like, and maintain some sort of a semblance and to know which planet you're on. Like, it's insane. I don't know how they did it.
It's not easy, but it takes a special kind of individual to do it, to learn how to do it, and train somebody else how to do it, and have fun doing it, keep it going.
One of the bars that I worked at, we were open 7 nights a week, and it was like 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., and I worked every fucking day. But because I was...
though?
I'm sorry?
Can you teach it, though? Like, you were talking about training. Like, you can train how to make a drink, but I think you gotta be you.
No,
like,
you
gotta have a personality to be a bartender.
There's definitely like, there's some people that are cut out for it and some people that aren't. And that's why it's like, you'll have people that are at a place for 2 months and then they go somewhere else and they keep on like hopping. Or you have people that are at a place for fucking ever.
Yeah.
And it's, you have to like be comfortable with yourself enough to like build a crowd, be able to put yourself out there, scream at the people, hello, what's up?
Right.
Hi, come to my bar. You have to be a vocal person. You have to be personable, have some kind of ability to, you know, connect with people in a very short period of time. Because sometimes these people are at your bar for seconds, you know, and you want them to leave just like any other place. You want them to leave thinking, I had such a great time because of that person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like,
hey, 1159 Bill just joined and wanted to comment because we haven't talked about this at all, about JT's Wonder Shots. I brought that up.
I even gave the recipe.
No, I know I'm saying he showed up late and he wants
it. That's such a Bill.
Tell him to go back and watch it over.
You gave the recipe an hour ago.
Yeah, I know. Like Remy, you know Rich, right? Dickie Bronson, the wrestler. Like, if you ever see him behind the bar, he's literally a magician. Like, I've never, like, just like literally holds the bar down. I've never and like when I talk about like those like 30 different conversations and like drops them off and picks them up, drops them off, picks them up, like to be able to juggle that, it's insanity. And
be drinking at the same time.
I don't think he did it that much where he was at, but like at the post, oh, absolutely, it was one for you, one for me. Like, you know, that was a thing.
Some of my favorite memories of bartending is I worked in a small place and I'd have a lot of regulars that would come in and see me. And so that's what I do. You know, you go and get them their drinks and order them some food and you have a conversation, talk about what's going on. You move over to these people because you know them too. And then somebody new is coming in that you've never seen before and they want to hear a joke. And so you tell them a joke and then, you know, somebody else just wants to be left alone. So, but you got to make sure that you're checking up on them and making sure that they're good. I love working those, like, you know, you feel like you're in 10 places at once, but you get focused. You get this kind of like, you know.
You do wind up getting absolutely into a zone.
For the place.
Right.
It's absolutely about a zone. Well, Bob, I mean, and you have, so I think, you know, like you've said so far tonight, you know, I think like one of your complaints is the same thing that bartenders bitch about. You know, you've got the, hey, play something good, just like bartenders have. Can you make me something good?
I want it to be sweet, but not too sweet, and I don't want to taste any liquor.
What do you like? See, no one ever asks what I like. They always ask bartenders what they like.
They're like, I get a lot of people that are like, if you could drink anything, what would it be? And I'm just like, lady, I drink Bud Lights at my house. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Little shout out. Zapsik has joined the watch party.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Mike.
How's it going, Mike?
Well, like, here's the thing though. Like, the whole point, like, you don't want to go to a bar when the anti-cheers where no one knows you and like there's no one at the bar that you know. You want to walk in, hey, Bobby, hey, you know, like, you know, sit down and go like, and then you're all, you know, cracking in the dick jokes. You're watching baseball and you're arguing about God knows what and telling whatever story's going on. Like, that's, you know, that's the whole point of going out. Otherwise, you drink in your basement like a troll. You know what I mean? It's
hey.
Dave feels attacked.
Okay, but your basement is actually like a real bar. It's like being at a bar.
That wasn't even a calculated rip. It just happened.
Right, yeah. Can't help it. It just came out naturally.
No, but that was like you know, kind of going back to like there's that bars don't. It's very rare to have these bars exist these days that have the same bartenders there for 5+ years. That they become like, what bar do you know has still like the JT special? Like Bill knows about that. JT bartended like 20 years ago. Like he's been managing ever since and not behind the bar. But that shot lives in infamy like forever. Like how many like, oh, that's the so and so drink. No. Or like, I'm going to go there and see these 4 bartenders. No, that doesn't like that was, I think the Post was like one of the last few places where like literally the bartenders were the rock stars.
Yeah.
I was just playing shitty music and getting drunk at a DJ booth. Right?
Well, but you know, don't sell yourself short.
Like no, I mean, so I mean, I guess that's part of it. I mean, like, you know, you were talking about, you know, the bartending, you stay there forever, you know, making good money and all that stuff. I mean, Bob, I mean, let's be honest. Like this was a side hustle. Like that was a side thing for you that you just always loved to do. You still had a day job through the week where you were doing your thing.
That was my favorite conversation when I quit the Blackfin. And, you know, I think, and I was making good money at the Blackfin. It was actually like
Oh, I remember we talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I go, I think I'm going to quit. I go, why? I go, man, I'm like 7 Rolling Rocks and 3 shots of Jaeger deep. It's like 3 a.m. I'm like 36 and I'm married with 2 kids and I have a day job and I got a company car out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Looks on their faces were like, bro, you're married and you got a job? Like, Yeah,
I've got a life that I
few
can
and far
screw up real
between.
easily here.
I just thought you were a random aging degenerate.
Yeah.
Just that lifer that like works 2 nights a week and then but yeah, nobody. It's not like I sat there and go, so at Tuesday I went on this business call. Like, no, that's not what you're.
No,
talking
you're not telling
about.
stories like
Right.
that.
No.
I mean, here's the thing. Music is an integral part of the going out experience. And if I'm hanging out at a bar and the music sucks, I'm not hanging out there anymore.
But
the
I guess
the vibe that you create helps keep people in the place.
Here's the thing though, like you only heard those songs at that bar at that time. Like that was like. So it was like a theme. And if you walked in there and I'm playing OMC How Bizarre, and you're like, dude, this guy sucks. And you didn't you didn't feel the vibe. But then you look to your left and you see, it's like, again, going back to Germany, like I'm looking at 10,000 people screaming, dancing, having the best time ever. Like maybe I'm the idiot that doesn't get it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Sometimes
like
you got to
the
be
bar
like, am I feeling the vibe of the place? No matter what you're listening.
If the bar was dead and shitty and I'm sitting here trying to play Tony Orlando, yeah, I'm, then I'm the asshole, you know what I mean? But like, for some reason, man, that place just had a theme. Like, it was like this bad, it wasn't bad. It's kind of amazing. We're listening to the stuff now, man. It's like, I've never been able to play. You can't play that shit anywhere else.
The word I would give it is eclectic. It was a different, unique mix that I don't think. No, I don't. Like it's a mix that you wouldn't have heard at any other bar, and I don't think you'd hear it at a bar now, not even on a retro / whatever night.
You can't, because even if it's retro / you're playing I love rock and roll and girls just want to have fun. I never played that shit. Like that wasn't even in the pop stuff wasn't even on the docket. Like none of it was.
Right.
Maybe I would play Footloose. Like Jesse's Girl. Dude, I don't think I put Jesse's Girl on my Spotify list. But like that kind of shit, man. It was just like wasted, awful.
I mean, you had to have Jesse's Girl because Moot. I mean, what other song do you know that has the word Moot in it?
I didn't even know Ed had Moot in it.
Me either.
Because the point is probably moot. That's the
point. Is probably moot.
That's the line. Yeah.
I don't listen to the lyrics.
He's a DJ. He's not a lyrics guy.
No.
Just all about the beat, baby. Just get me wiggling in my chair.
Don't ever do that again.
Did it make you feel tingly inside?
No, absolutely not.
Show me on the doll where it made you feel.
Oh, here's the funny thing, and you guys, you can attest this, Lauren. You probably know this. The one time I learned that, like, the bathrooms, the disparity of diseased bathrooms. The Post Bar was a dive bar. It was a rot gut dive bar. But like for some reason, the guys, maybe a little pee drips on the floor, maybe a couple pieces of napkin or something, but the girls was like World War III hit.
Horror show.
It was disgusting.
I was more like World War Z. It was like there were zombies and dead things.
There's a lot of blood and vomit.
I wasn't going there. When the bar backs were like, cause I never been in a girl's John, and I'm like, he goes, oh my God, you got to see this, DJ Bob, come here. And I'm like, open up the door, and it's like, oh my God, like, how did that happen? Like,
hey, this smells bad. Smell this.
Yeah, right. Tastes like shit. Try it. That was like the humanity that would go on in that girl's bathroom. Is like literally Stephen King horror movies that were written about that kind of shit.
The first restaurant I ever worked at, like part of our job was mopping the floor and cleaning the bathrooms at the end of the night when we closed down every night. And so that was my first experience with like, oh my God, women are horrible and disgusting in public restrooms.
You know what? The men's bathroom is pretty fucking bad too.
Pretty gross too.
All right.
But no, I was just like, oh wow.
Can you aim,
I did not expect this.
No, so like I said, there's a little bit of pee drops, but like guys would get it in their cars and drive to the gas station if they had to grumpy at the bar.
Dudes like piss. Okay, they'll like vomit in the fucking urinals. That's not going down. I have to put on a glove and fucking scoop that shit out. Like, please don't.
Clogging sinks at bars. That was there was a clogged sink probably every other week at the
right.
Like, how did it get like that?
Again, don't ask questions you don't actually want the answers to. Yeah.
Right, I know.
I had to go in.
if they would have a big, large wastebasket, that's easy to puke into, that people wouldn't go for the sink, I guess.
They do. They just don't go for the wastebasket or the toilet. They go straight for the fucking urinal.
Yeah.
You're not getting on your knees in front of a toilet at a dive bar. Are you insane?
No,
you're puking in the sink.
Yeah, you're going to puke in the sink. Yeah, you're not going to get on your knees at a dive bar, that's for sure.
But I have to clean it up.
Well, I mean, let's not say that.
Depends on how many PBRs you're lining up on the bar.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like the Post East, I think Clyde still owns it. I think it's still open. It still exists. It's obviously isn't the same. It's just a dive bar now. It's not like the whole playing music and all that. But I honestly, I think it's still there.
Dude, we got to go back. We should go back just to go.
We've got to go just to go. And hopefully they'll have a jukebox, and you can relive your glory days by just playing stuff on the jukebox.
No, it's just called the East.
It's not a post bar anymore.
Okay,
yeah. All right.
But it's like essentially the same.
But like
they haven't really changed anything.
No, but we would go to the tap room, which was so ahead of its time. That was like the first bar to have like 300 different beers.
Yeah.
We would get they would have Swill of the Month, which is like dinger cans from the distributor. So we would get like Mill Best Ice.
Isn't that the one that still has like a DOS point of sale system?
Totally. Yeah. It's old. It's on purchase and out.
Yeah, they had to actually manually type in everything. Oh my God.
Old school POSs are the best.
Is it kind of like Ashley's? Like in the sense that it's got like a crap ton of like different taps, like hundreds of taps?
No, it was like 16 taps because there wasn't that much.
Yeah,
room.
So Ashley's was all about like the tap and more like almost more like a Hopcat. This was more just like I mean, honestly, and it won't make sense out, but like, so Brickskeller is a place in DC where like they just had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beers in cans, bottles, that kind of stuff. It wasn't really about the tap; it was just about the selection.
Where you get like the fancy Belgians. That was like before like craft beer was a thing. There's like all the crazy imports. So we would go there first, and I think there was the Village Idiot pub was down Mac. Mm-hmm. Now it's that a tiki bar that we went to. What the hell is it called? A Lost River, I think.
Yeah.
And then Marge's was across the street, and that's when like Tom's Oyster Bar, like that street, that little area was freaking slamming back then. Like
booming little block.
All of it's gone.
It's funny how those things ebb and flow, though. It's like it'll be a hot spot and popular for 10, 12, 15 years, and then all of a sudden, one day it just.
But like tap room's still a thing. Like that'll never go. Again, those kind of bars never die. Like what I mean? They're like just because they don't do anything fancy. It's just like we do beer, blocks of cheese, and
they don't overreach. They don't try to overextend.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Right.
You don't have a charcuterie board? What kind of place is this?
Oh, they would have blocks.
They don't take out $1 million loans and try to open a new location in Oxford.
There you go.
No, you'd get a block of Munster cheese and it would give you like a sleeve of Ritz for like $4.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The cheese, and or you get the pretzel rods and the yellow mustard.
Yep.
We know what we do, and we do
Which
it.
I would actually probably be all right with, to be completely honest. I'm pretty low maintenance when it comes to charcuterie.
Right? Yeah.
That was
some Slim Jims and a wedge of cheese.
Yup, that's basically all I care about. I just want some meat stick, some crackers, and some cheap ass
Give me a
cheese.
Slim Jim and a cheese stick, and I'm good.
If you ever buy a Slim Jim or even go walk past one, look at the ingredients. The top ingredient, the number one ingredient, is mechanically separated chicken.
Oh, well.
Yum, 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 yum.
Still gonna eat it.
I didn't expect somebody to be sitting there and like pulling it apart by hand. So
right, processing a deer in their fucking garage.
Right,
distributing worldwide.
Not to like the one thing that kind of like bummed me out is like there's been like 3 or 4 people that have tried to recreate the Post downtown. This is Dino Cicerelli bought it. It was Cicerelli's, which I thought was going to make it, but like with the Joe closing, it didn't. Then it became something else. Then it became something else. Then it became something else. And I'm like, I just would, it'd be, I don't know, just to like kind of try to recreate that. I don't. If Cicerelli couldn't do it, I don't think it's going to ever happen again. Like it's just not. You can't.
It's a shame. It's a bygone era.
Well,
we can't recreate the magic that was a special place in time. But you've got the memories, and you were there, and
and you can pass it along.
Hopefully, with the big shutdown, once everything kind of comes back to like a normalcy, whatever that's going to look like, I think the bar landscape is really going to change, you know, where people are going to go out and spend their money and stuff. And so maybe somebody will have a fresh new idea that'll come
Open
up
your own bar and
be
fucking
cool.
do all the things that you
know?
just talked about.
Well, you think about this though. How do you make money as a bar owner being busy for 8 hours a week, you know, 10 to 2 on Friday and Saturday,
Right.
and you give
You
away
got to get a lot of people in.
and you give away free pizza. Like, I'm just saying, like,
Well, that's what Orchid and Luna do.
Volume.
Well, Luna's not around
Orchid,
anymore, but
you know,
Orchid
you can
does
always
that.
hire
They do
the
the free pizza.
yeah.
I don't know if this is going to work on my camera, but you can always hire the flair bartenders.
Heyo! Hey! Hey!
Bob wants to reach
Let's
through
do
the
this.
camera and slap you right now.
Sorry, buddy. I can flip a almost empty beer and catch it.
I was gonna say do that on your own time, and I'm like, well, this is your time since you're
Right.
It kind of is my show.
Literally in our homes.
Oh yeah.
Do what I want.
Crap. Speaking of which, we've got 4 minutes before we have to hop over to our shtick.
That's right. It's about time to wrap up Tales from the Barside. I thank everybody who joined us tonight and was watching. Bob,
Hi, Mom.
thank you
Hi,
so much.
Lorraine.
Hey, guys. Bob,
They're
thank
You
you
guys
so
had
much
a
for
lot of
coming
people
on and
hopping on the live tonight.
telling us the stories of DJ Bob. We love that trip down memory lane with you. And I say that when we're finally allowed back out in public, when they finally release the heathens from their cages, we should all get together and go check out that old place and see how it's doing. Hopefully they've got a thing that you can play music on, and we'll kind of try and recreate some little semblance of what used to be.
That sounds amazing.
I'll just bring a Bluetooth speaker, find a plug, and then open up Bob's Spotify playlist and piss everyone off.
We're good. I love it. Well, we love you all. Thanks for showing up.
Wait, really quick. If you have a tale that you would like to tell us of your experience working behind the bar, hanging out at a bar, or just doing anything that involves a fucking bar, contact us. Send us your story at barsidetales@gmail.com. And check out our Instagram and our Facebook. Woo-hoo.
I feel like as many times as Flanagan has commented on here, I'm sure he's got some DJ stories that he desperately wants to share with you guys. So yeah.
Oh,
We want
absolutely.
them. We want all of them.
DJ Flano.
my man crush.
You know, that was Bob's man. No, so I know we got to wrap it real quick. So this is the funniest thing ever. We're at one of our events one night for IT and the D, and Jamie Flanagan was there, and he does like Animal Talk Radio and Man Cave Happy Hour. And the whole night, Bob's like, God, I know him from like not this, but like from somewhere else. And our buddy Tulio goes, dude, that was like your man crush. He was the DJ at Lipsticks back in the mid 90s.
Lipsticks? Oh my God. Holy shit. They're not around.
I texted him the playlist. I said, did I do you justice with his playlist? And he never responded, so I just left it alone. But yeah.
Apparently not. Your man crush
not.
deserved you.
Apparently not.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
Cheers.
Have me
See
on.
you next
Cheers.
week. Bye.
Bye.